Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aquarius energy. The top row is going to be for people who harness high vibe Aquarius energy, and the bottom row is going to be for people who are free willingly choosing to harness low vibe Aquarius energy. You know, Aquarius energy is about stepping back and seeing life from a higher perspective, having hope and faith and belief in yourself and your dreams. You offer yourself love and encouragement and kindness and compassion and forgiveness. You offer it to other people. If they want to reciprocate that, great. You work together with them. If they don't, you wish them peace and you move on. You've realized that life is about living. It's about being happy and joyful and working and investing time, energy, and effort into other people who realize life is worth living. And people who are in shadowy Aquarius energy have lost sight of that. They don't have hope and faith and belief in their dreams and themselves. They don't believe in love. They've been maybe hurt before, so they operate from pride and ego, fear, insecurity, make their life about indulgence or money and materialism and status and think that'll be good enough. But they're never going to live the life of their dreams doing that. They're never going to have the emotionally fulfilling, loving relationships because they're not being open and honest and loving themselves. They get in relationships and create the illusion of being all those things, but then they're emotionally defensive, prideful, egotistical, whatever, and the relationships end. Or they get in relationships that are emotionally unfulfilling because they got in a relationship with someone who's just like themselves, who's also prideful, egotistical, emotionally defensive. So let's go see what the story is. And get out two more cards here for the bottom. All right. So you people that are in high vibe energy, you, your friends, your family members, your coworkers, everybody you know that's in high vibe Aquarius energy are people who've gone within to gain insight and wisdom about themselves, about the past. You know, you could have dealt with some people in your past that are very competitive. Maybe you are very competitive. But the Five of Wands is Leo energy about having inner conflict about what the purpose of life is. Some people think it's all about money and materialism, and that way they won't get hurt, you know? And if you've dealt with people like that, or if you are someone like that, you've went within to gain insight and wisdom. And when you're in your friend group, work group, family group where there is conflict and fighting, you high vibe people go within to gain insight and understanding about it. You know, why do you have inner conflict about offering love? And the people who put in work and effort into relationships go within to gain insight and wisdom. They connect in with love and believing in the dream of what could be for themselves, for their life, for the relationships, the work project, whatever. And they offer love to the situation and believe that they do have all the resources to manifest it into reality, to believe in the dream, that they can bring this dream into reality, this relationship, this family group, this work group. And the people who didn't have hope and faith and belief, those people took a risk to repeat patterns of the past of being competitive, being prideful, being egotistical, being selfish, being greedy. They weren't willing to be just and fair in their Libra energy. You know, if you know some people, you know, we can either choose to be open and honest and loving and emotionally vulnerable, just and fair to treat other people we want to be treated the way we want to be treated, or we can say, I want the scales to be tipped in my favor. I kind of have inner conflict about trusting love and being just and fair. I kind of think I'll take a risk to be prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, manipulative, and see if the loving people in my life will be confused about it. It'll cause them a lot of inner conflict that I'm not being just and fair. And if you had anybody like that in your life, in your friend group, family group, work group who was like that, I think all you high vibe people went within to try to understand why they do that. And it just comes down to that people have free will. People can choose to be just and fair and open and honest and loving, to offer love, or they can take a risk to be prideful, egotistical, selfish, and greedy. And you high vibe people said, I wish you peace. I hope you choose love. But, basically, if you're going to take a risk to repeat poor past patterns of the past, I'm going to keep working on bringing my dreams into reality and believing in my dreams. And I want to be in relationships with people who are just and fair and balanced. People who have went within to gain insight and wisdom about their prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, immature nature, their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, to offset that with being just and fair and loving and committed and dedicated. And if you took a risk not to be just and fair, then I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. I'm going to manifest my dreams into reality. Because when people don't choose love, they're harnessing these energies in a shadowy way. They turn their back on love, thinking, I think I can manipulate people into doing what I want to get my dream to come into reality. I am very competitive. I have a problem being just and fair and open and honest and authentic. I'm going to take a risk to turn my back on the love that these people are offering me, and I think I can manipulate them. Or I'll just try to manipulate someone else. The Five of Wands can be competition. Maybe this person had an opportunity to go towards the competition where they didn't have to be just and fair. Maybe they had an opportunity to take a risk to go towards something that appealed to their prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy nature. And they're taking a risk to do something else, maybe to manipulate someone else that would maybe do things the way they want it to be done, which is not being just and fair and open and honest and loving. So, right now, there's some people in your life who emotionally invest in hiding. They might hide the fact that they're prideful, egotistical, selfish, and greedy. And they think that they can create illusions in relationships and still reap the benefits in the harvest, They might reap something. It won't be love. Let's go see what's going on. Someone that you might know in your life, your work group, friend group, family group, might have had someone present an idea to them, like, offer me an emotional new beginning and we'll move forward. And this person said, okay, I'll emotionally invest in you, because then I don't have to balance out my emotions about the truth that I'm not open, I'm not honest, I'm not authentic, I'm not loving, I'm not kind and just. I like to emotionally invest more in looking like I'm moving forward in a successful way in the world. And there was someone who's presenting themselves as an option. Invest in me emotionally. We'll move forward and look successful. Neither one of us maybe want to balance out our emotions. Neither one of us want to offset our selfish, greedy, prideful, egotistical, more worldly nature with truth and honesty and love. They might both be people who just want to look successful in the world and not have to be just and fair and authentic. Let's get together in a relationship that the world will look at us like we look like we're really successful in the world. But the reason they want to even be in a relationship together is because they both hide from the truth. Neither one of them want to go within to gain insight and wisdom and, like hold a mirror up to their own face. They don't want to acknowledge the truth to themselves that they're not choosing love. They're choosing pride, ego, fear, insecurity, laziness, selfishness, greed. They don't want to learn and grow and mature themselves. They don't want to learn lessons in life. They just want to keep doing life the way they've always done it, which is let's put work and effort into creating the illusion that our dreams are coming into reality by focusing on money, materialism, status, image, and not love. And let's not see the truth about ourselves. And the people who haven't gained insight and wisdom about people in their past who do emotionally invest in living their life that way, those people are going to repeat that pattern. They think, I can just juggle. I know my conscience and my soul is telling me I should be just and fair and open and authentic and loving and act with character and integrity, but I don't really want to. I could get hurt doing that. I'd have to be emotionally vulnerable, and I prefer to wear a mask presenting myself as being that way, but internally I like to be emotionally defensive and selfish and greedy and manipulative in relationships. Maybe if I can keep up this facade of who I really am in the world, maybe I won't have to be held accountable for my actions. Maybe if I was in a relationship with people who were just and fair and loving and balanced and all that, maybe I can take a risk to create an illusion about who I really am by getting in a relationship with someone else. And I'll look like I'm moving forward, and then people won't think that I'm selfish or greedy or fearful or insecure or unkind or unloving because I got in a relationship with someone else. Well, someone else wouldn't get in a relationship with them if they were so awful, would they? Well, yeah. Everybody probably doesn't show their awful side. The truth is, these people that are in shadowy energy, in their King of Swords energy, they live more from their mind and their heart. Maybe it's all about money and materialism. In their Libra nature, they think it's just and fair. They have decided it's just and fair to make their life about money, materialism, status, and image. The truth can just be juggled. We'll just keep wearing our social masks that we're an upstanding citizen in the world. But the truth is, we're all about money and materialism, stubbornness, pridefulness, ego. We don't want to go within and look at ourselves in the mirror. We don't want to see the truth about ourselves. We're really stressed about love. We're really stressed about dealing with our past pain and heartbreak and seeing the truth of it. That because other people in our past have hurt us and betrayed us or emotionally manipulated us or whatever, that we've decided to be emotionally cold and defensive to love, and we don't want to see the truth of it. And because of it, maybe the high vibe people we were in a relationship with did see the truth, that now we have an energy about us of wanting to win at all costs and we don't care who gets hurt. And those people moved away and are standing in their inner child truth, protecting their future. They have become independent of the shadowy people. They know that this person was deceptive and manipulative in the past, and so the high vibe people walked away to align with love. And the high vibe people are knowing that if they keep moving forward in love and believing in themselves and keep going within to gain insight about why they have any inner conflict as they're moving forward, those people keep going within to connect in with love and believing in themselves and their dream, and they keep trusting the universe because they know that justice will be served. You know, if you keep investing in people who are selfish and greedy and unloving and manipulative, you're never going to get the justice you deserve. So if you keep moving forward in love and belief in yourself and keep trusting the universe, justice will be served. You will be investing time, energy, and effort only into people with other people who reciprocate that back. And the people who are in shadow, because you're not willing to invest time, effort, and energy into those people think, well, I've got my own idea. I am going to not put in work and effort to balance out my own emotions. I'm going to make an offer to someone who looks like they're moving forward very successfully, and I'm going to get in a relationship with them, and that will make me look like I'm the victorious one, like I'm the winner. It's like, well, you go get in your relationship where you juggle people again and where you continue to decide to be emotionally cold and detached and maybe bossy and controlling, making your life all about the world, pride, ego, image, status, and you just stay in your stress and anxiety. That's your free will choice. If you don't want to go within to figure out why you have so much stress and anxiety about being loving, well, then I guess you'll just continue to create illusion. Let's go ask why. Why are some people so in a mental prison about being open and honest and authentic? That is way too many. Because in Sagittarius energy, it would require that, we all have this dualistic nature within us. We've all got, and here in Sagittarius energy, people are balancing out their strong emotions. We've all got our worldly, beastly nature of my wants, my needs, my lusts, my greed, me, 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 me. But high vibe people and their fears and insecurities, high vibe people offset their more beastly, fearful, selfish, greedy, defensive nature with love and wanting to act with character and integrity, to feel proud of themselves, to treat other people as they would like to be treated. And this person feels that the thought of doing that is overwhelming. Why do they find that overwhelming? It takes a lot of creative, inspired action. In the Virgo Hermit, you have to invest. Virgo's earth sign energy. That means you put in the work and effort in the 3D world. You have to invest time, energy, and effort to deal with, why do I feel insecure? Why am I fearful? Why am I defensive to being emotionally open? It takes a lot of work and effort to overcome your fears and insecurities because of maybe being hurt before, or why you lack confidence and belief in yourself. And you need to start every day offering yourself the things that you wish people in your past who maybe didn't offer that to you, and yourself who didn't offer you that in the past. You need to decide every day, if there's going to be one person in the world every day who treats me with love and compassion and forgiveness and encouragement and support and respect, it's going to be me. And some people just haven't learned that lesson, that they need to learn to be the one person in their life who treats themselves that way every day. Why does this person find it so overwhelming to think of balancing out their emotions? Oh. If you haven't learned that lesson, That it's not, that it starts within you. It starts with you offering love to yourself, to be like your own best mother, father, coach voice in your head, you know, to offer, connect in with your inner nature of love. The people who haven't learned that lesson are still looking to people outside of them to be the source of love for them. No, no, no. It's not me loving myself. I will offer love. I will make offers of love to other people. Those people are supposed to love me and nurture me and like heal me. And until we have lived enough life experience, you know, if we haven't learned how to love and value ourselves, we're kind of belittling ourselves, you know, diminishing ourselves, not believing in ourselves, insulting ourselves, all of that. And we'll actually push away loving people in our life because we haven't learned how to love ourselves. And we'll keep offering love to other people, kind of like the very people who might have hurt us before. How we define love. And high vibe Empress energy is supposed to be about doing everything with love. So it's kind of like people who are in shadow energy. They're still looking to people outside of them like to validate their worth and value because they haven't validated their own worth and value. And when they get in relationships with loving people, because they don't love themselves, they push away the loving people, and they're kind of like trying to get the unloving people of the world to love them. Good luck. And it's to make them rise up and finally claim their life and say, I'm no longer looking outside myself. I am going to love myself. So the people that are in shadowy energy, for one, are still looking kind of like to a mother father figure outside themselves to love them and acknowledge their worth and value. So again, the Empress energy, the Page of Cups, clarified by the Empress, for some of them, they're so attached to the world, money and materialism and status and image, they're still really invested emotionally in worldliness. They want to be surrounded by luxury in life. They think that is the solution to their problem. You know, it's like some people investing in drugs or alcohol. That's the answer. That's the ticket. This person could be someone who thinks that money and materialism, status and image will relieve them of their pain and heartbreak. And it won't, but they haven't learned that lesson yet. So again, down in the shadowy energy, they are emotionally investing what should be Cancer energy, love and home and family and self-love, kind of like the Empress, doing everything with love. Instead, they invest in either people they perceive as loving because those people might look very successful in the world, and if that's how they are, kind of like the type of people they've invested before in their past that were maybe people in their life, maybe a mother figure or someone who they viewed as loving, who was maybe very successful in life. And it's kind of like, I have to get people who seem like that, like they're very successful in life, surrounded by luxury in life. I have to get people like that to love me, for some of them. For others, it's just that they love money and materialism, and they invest in other people who have money and materialism, who look very successful in the world, because kind of that's, well, what they want to emotionally invest in. And they think they can, if they're very like addicted to money and materialism, greed and selfishness, they think they can manipulate that type of person in a relationship because that would be their dream relationship. Look, I got in a relationship with this person. They have money, they have materialism, they have status, they have image. Look at me, I'm successful. And for people where that's their perspective of how they view life is the highest goal, you know, well, let's ask, why do they turn their back though on people who, Magician energy is like Gemini Virgo energy, people who have went within to gain insight and wisdom, people who aren't making their life basically kind of selling their soul for money and materialism and status and image. People who don't emotionally invest and sexually engage with other people just for money and materialism and status and image. Why, I want to ask, why do they turn their back on people who do believe in themselves and their dreams? Emperor, Queen of Swords. Emperor is Aries energy, which is fire energy. This person could be someone, male or female, who's really someone, they could have a lot of fire in their chart and they're shadowy. And, our fire nature can be my lusts, my wants, my greeds, me, 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 me. And they in shadowy energy are emotionally defensive to speaking their truth. They want to repeat patterns of the past. That is their truth. And the high vibe people in their life are people who aren't making decisions in their life, being emotionally cold and defensive, being selfish, being greedy. The high vibe people are true leaders in the world. They've tempered their prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy nature. They make decisions that are best taking all aspects of themselves into consideration. Like, I don't want to get in a relationship with someone I don't love just for money and materialism. I don't want to be in a relationship or take a job where it might offer me a lot of worldly things, but I don't feel like I'm emotionally fulfilled in it. I can't tap into my own creative, inspired ways of being. It's not like aligned with my truth. And the high vibe people in their life are people who don't let just their wanty nature, their worldly, beastly, prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy nature, make decisions in their life. They make decisions and they want to also be in relationships with other people who make decisions that are best taking everything into account and everyone into account. And they speak their emotional truth. And this person doesn't want to make decisions that are best for everyone involved. It's all about their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed. And they could be someone who's defensive to speaking their emotional truth. Let's ask why. Why are they defensive to speaking their emotional truth? Nine of Wands, Page of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, the World, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. And the reason is because of the Ten of Swords. Well, for one, they are defensive in the Nine of Wands to being backstabbed and betrayed. So if they're going to get in a relationship, as far as they're concerned, it might make more logical, practical sense to get in a relationship with someone who has money, materialism, status, and image. If the relationship doesn't work out, they kind of didn't have any emotional skin in the game. They maybe won't feel as betrayed. But if they were in a relationship for love and something happened, they could feel really devastated about that. So instead of doing that, they have decided to maybe emotionally make an offer to invest in the world, either to stay single and focus on money and materialism, or make an offer to someone in the Nine of Pentacles, maybe a Virgo, or just someone who has money and materialism, who might have had a relationship end on them, because the World and the Ten of Swords can be something ended. And if someone had something who ended and they communicated to someone, this person, that basically if they ended aligning with love and would come and emotionally and like materialistically invest in them, then, they could backstab and betray their dreams, love, other loving people in their life that they could move forward with, because this person has money and materialism. And because that person had become single because of some painful ending in their life, this person decided to make them an offer. And they don't want to maybe tell the truth that they ended a relationship with loving, just, fair, kind, balanced people in their life because they wanted to go emotionally invest in someone who had money and materialism, who might have experienced a painful ending in their life, and they maybe thought they were easy prey. And I'll go offer them a new emotional beginning because they had the idea that, they could juggle the truth and maybe make a decision to kind of invest in someone who had money and materialism, who might have been stressed about moving forward on their own. So they, in their Page of Swords, had communicated to this person in their past that, hey, I'm single. You want to come get in a relationship with me? You might be someone who's kind of stressed about money and materialism and, being open and vulnerable in relationships too. And I am too, and I'm single. Oh, but by the way, be careful. I'm deceptive and manipulative because I operate from pride and ego also. But so I guess I kind of look at it that if any of you had someone in your friend group, family group, work group who is someone who is very competitive in the world, has a lot of inner conflict about treating other people as they like to be treated, if there was a mother figure they could invest in that maybe is very competitive in, a Libra Taurus they could have invested in that's very competitive, someone who presents himself as being looking successful in the world that might be very competitive or has inner conflict about love. It's like, I'll go invest in them because they maybe won't expect me to be just and fair and balanced, and maybe because they have a lot of fears and insecurities and they want someone to be in a relationship with them. Cool, I'll go be in a relationship with them because the loving people in my life, in my friend group, work group, family who want me to be just and fair, I don't want to be just and fair. Let's go ask why. Why don't these people want to be just and fair in a relationship? Why don't they want to treat other people as they want to be treated? Oh, because they would have to be held accountable for their actions, and they don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They, in their Ten of Pentacles, could be very stubborn, unbudging. This is the way they've always lived their life, where either they think they should be indulged, they make their life about money and materialism, they're stubborn, prideful, selfish, greedy. Maybe they have money and materialism and they don't think they have to be just and fair. They think they can make an offer to other people and other people will be willing to move forward with them in a relationship and maybe put up with the fact that they're selfish and greedy and manipulative. And they kind of want to take risks that maybe cause conflict and fighting and competition, and they could like that. They maybe like people to fight to be in relationships with them. It boosts their pride and ego because if they're not acting with character and integrity within themselves and being open and honest and loving, needless, they don't have very much to feel proud of within themselves. And so then a way to feel empowered is by how much influence they can impact upon other people by actions they take. Like, oh my gosh, did you see how upset they were? I did this, and then look at them, they're really upset. And that is kind of how they feel a sense of being powerful. maybe even trying to make other people fight, like I say, fight over them, because maybe in their pride and ego, they think they're all that and that people should fight for them and fight over them. You know, their 10 of Pentacles that they have in the world could be, maybe they're very attractive, maybe they're very charismatic, maybe they've got status or image or money. But for whatever it is, they think they have things in the world that kind of means they shouldn't have to grow up. They don't have to learn lessons. People should want to be in relationships with them for whatever these reasons are. They don't have to be just and fair. They don't have to be held accountable for their actions. And they, if they were in a relationship with loving people and the loving people basically weren't willing to put up with their shit anymore with the Emperor and the Queen of Swords, and said, you know, these actions that you take are betraying and sabotaging this relationship, because this relationship was supposed to be built on love and respect and character and integrity, and you seem to be taking actions to sabotage this relationship. And the high vibe people stood their ground, and it's like, I'm not going to tolerate this behavior. If you're not willing to be open and honest and authentic and loving, then this relationship's over. And this person didn't want to be held accountable for their actions. So they decided and are deciding to make an offer to either focusing on money and materialism just within themselves, like I'll stay single, I'll look really victorious in the world by worldly standards. And for others of them, they're going to make an emotional offer to get in a relationship with someone else that will make them look like they're the winner. And they'll continue to live their life of illusion. They have the idea that they can just juggle people and not really invest in people. They've decided in the Judgment card that they're going to live more from their mind and their heart. It's all about money, materialism, worldliness, status, image. It's not about love. They are kind of emotionally cold and detached. So I think we'll leave it there, Aquarius. Your random quote calendar flip turned up. Have faith in yourself and in the future. September 9th. September's the 9th month, and nines in tarot talk about cycles ending. You know, when people are in shadowy energy, they can get really caught up in their head. They can feel really overwhelmed, but they don't ever do the work it takes to work through the stress, the anxiety, the fears, the whatever. They don't put in the work and effort of the Virgo hermit to go within to find out, why do I have so much inner conflict? Why do I have so much inner conflict about treating other people the way I want to be treated, being just and fair and open and kind and loving, you know? And until they do that, and some people, we all know, never want to self-reflect, never want to hold a mirror up to themselves or hold a mirror up to figuring out why they ever started to act so emotionally defensive, or to realize that they're supposed to do work within themselves. It's not finding people in the world who just want to indulge them. It's kind of like they want to keep being 5 or 8 years old in relationships where they get to be selfish, greedy, immature, indulged. Like people are just supposed to indulge them all their life like a parent would. But enlightened high vibe people don't want to be a parent to someone, a partner who's like a child. If you haven't learned how to be open and honest and loving and temper your prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, beastly nature, well then I wish you peace, and I wish you good luck in this relationship you're going to go get into with the next person, to try to help you balance out your strong emotions that you haven't learned to deal with yourself, because odds are that person's going to maybe put in work and effort with you for a while, but eventually that person too might speak the truth that your foundation is very stressed. And until you work through your stress and anxiety you have about love, about being open and honest and authentic, the other people are going to leave too. And if they don't leave, watch out, because you might have gotten in a relationship with someone who's just like yourself. And if you're tired of people leaving and you found somebody else in your life who's kind of fearful and insecure and selfish and greedy, I guess you might stay in a relationship with them for the money or the status or the image, but you're both going to be very stressed about even being in the relationship and moving forward in it, because you're both immature and defensive, and you're both so afraid that the other person wants to be single, because you both know you're deceptive and manipulative and not open and honest, and you know anybody in their right mind would leave your ass. But because you're both defensive of being single, you probably both stay in the relationship, creating an illusion that look how victorious and successful we are. Just stay in the relationship because it looks good by worldly standards. What a miserable waste of a life choice you had to live on this planet and live your authentic life. But because people are so fearful and afraid of living their authentic life, they get in these relationships that are completely fake, and they've forfeited their whole life that they could have lived, which is really sad. But I guess that way other people can look at different people in their relationships and say, do I want that relationship or that one? And I think, everybody's an example to the world. Look what we chose. Oh no, look what we chose. Hopefully they're both types of people are living examples for people. Do you want to emulate the loving people in the world who are being creative and inspired and open and honest? Or do you want to live with the people who seem to be fake and false and not authentically themselves, who are maybe emotionally manipulative and passive aggressive and selfish and greedy, but just create an illusion that they're loving, but it's all a facade? And hopefully, as people see both options, hopefully a lot more people say, I don't want to get stuck in that. I don't want to live a life like that. I'm going to keep believing in myself and my dreams. I'm not going to uh, be emotionally cold and defensive and get in a fake, miserable relationship for the rest of my life. I want love, and I am willing to face my fears and insecurities to have it. So there you go, Aquarius energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.